So one of our opportunities in this video, this live sort of TikTok, is to talk about the very first video that we shot and put it up on TikTok. And we did a couple of little starters. Now, I would never have thought I'd be on TikTok. I'm going to be really honest. I've been doing what I've been doing for a long time. I've been an OT for over 40 years, and I've done training and video work for a long time. But TikTok seemed like probably not something that would work for people. And then we did a couple, and they were okay. But then we did this video, which is truly what kicked it all off, which is Manda standing, and she's wet, and we want to change her. I mean, this is what I would call one of those really common scenarios that happens, unfortunately, as people develop dementia.
And we did it in the example as just an unbuttoned button.
Yeah.
With the idea that people could inference whatever.
Yeah, I mean, so we weren't getting real crazy about it, but it was about what we consider to be really common issues in care behaviors. And what happens is all too often the person living with dementia is identified as the problem. And we wanted to back people up a little bit and have them take a look at, well, but wait a minute, what precipitated a lot of what resulted? And the answer is us. And we didn't mean it that way, but sometimes we get carried away with our effort to be helpful, and we're not as helpful as we think we are. So in that very first video, we did a thing called option 1, option 2. So we'd show what commonly happens where we get focused on a task and we're in there, and I'm going to tell her what I'm going to do. I'm going to do it. And I use visual cues that trick her, and it's never my intent, but this is sort of real. And because I've been doing it for so long, I can really help people get that. And I've worked with people like Manda, who is not only skillful in her own right, but she's also my daughter. So she's been around for a while we've done this kind of thing over time. I worked in head injury. I worked in rehab. I've worked in long-term care and community care. And Manda got hauled around because we believe in intergenerational work. It's just the way it is. You've seen the grandkids, they're around too. Right now they're swimming, so you skip that one.
Right.
But what we do, and what we did in that video, is show you option 1, where I simply go in, and we had Katie involved, and I said, oh, your button, I'm just going to get it. And I did this, and Manda spontaneously did the kind of thing that most people are going to do when you just suddenly... Yeah. But I explained to her what I was going to do. Unfortunately, due to the changes in her brain, she wasn't going to be able to understand that. So instead, we talked about option 2. And this is our format on a lot of the videos that we do that are designed, TikTok videos, that are designed to help people this versus this. What would you think you want to try? And so using visual cueing on me.
Oh, yeah.
But before I even did that, it was, hey, Manda. Just sort of like, hey, hey, Manda.
Oh, yeah, that's the one with the thing.
So sort of a discovery. Oh, look what I see. And yeah, you got it?
Well,
it's... Hey, Manda. Now, if you do, like, try, here, let's try this. Now, what I did here is another technique that we use a lot, and it's one that I developed, which is called hand under hand technique. So Manda's hand rests over mine. I went and did a handshake first, and then I switch my hand over and do this. And what it allows me to do is give messages to her brain through all her fingers about what's going on her body. And because her hand is at her body, she's the one that's doing the intimate task. I'm the one with the skills. She's the one with the information now. And what it does is it reduces distress state.
But first you let me try.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I showed you she got it.
But I knew what I was trying to do, but I couldn't.
But she no longer has the skill set she needs. So that first video really kicked off a barrage of questions that people have, because they say, so you're the person we should ask about. And indeed, we've done a number of things in the bathroom, in the kitchen, at the door. And one of the things we found out is that small bites of information with some specifics are really helpful for people to take in and then try out. And so we try to do short little scenarios, whether we're doing live broadcast or whether we're doing a TikTok that's available afterward. But we understand this is really difficult. And there can be great moments of success and there can be huge elements of frustration when you don't know what else to do. So wanted to share a little bit about that first video sequence and why we picked what we did, because at the work I do, with the work I do, what I think is really important is that we don't ignore what's real. What's real is that people try really hard to help someone, and that person tries really hard to figure out what it is we're trying to do sometimes, and what we end up with, conflict. And rather than doing a blaming, it's time to step back and go, okay, so what could be happening for their brain that's different than what's happening for my brain? What could I be doing that's making it worse? What could I be doing that's making it not? So now Amanda just walked up and started doing something. And I figured that what she was going to do made sense. So I let her do it. It was a moment where I was like, oh, is she going to role play or is she, you know? But she was just trying to help because she figured out, because she went and looked at your data.
But what happens if you're living with dementia and I did that?
Well, then what do you do? Get your hands on
anyone else in the real, or if I did that to you and you weren't filming a TikTok.
Yeah, or you weren't familiar with me or I wasn't familiar with you.
Right.
I might misinterpret the cue. And that's a lot of what we focus on, is how people just miss cues.
So how could I have done that differently?
Yeah, well, I mean, a couple of options.
Ooh, hey, Teepa.
Yeah.
Few people are saying that your mic's a little muffled.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Your mic. Yeah.
The here? Yeah, let me fix that.
Yeah, see if you can.
So Amanda just went ahead and fixed it for me. Well,
sorry.
You know, there's lots of stories going on there. But that's one of the other things we don't avoid, is when we make a mistake, it's an opportunity to use that mistake somehow. So there are no mistakes that aren't valuable. The only mistake that's not valuable is when you don't realize you've made it and you just keep doing what you're doing, thinking, I'm fine, the other person is the problem. And that's what happens in dementia all too often.
So the only question we've got so far is somebody was wondering about how to figure out where the person that she's caring for, her grandma, is in the journey.
Oh, okay.
How do you figure out what state the person is in?
What abilities does the person have in that moment? And that's tricky because we do look at it a little differently than many groups. I don't subscribe to the idea that people get in a stage and they hang out there, or they're at a level and they stay there, because what I find people doing is going up and down all over the place, depending on brain chemistry, the situation, the people around them, what else they've done that day, time of day. So we often talk about people having a sundowning period where their brain really has a hard time knowing where they are, when they are, what's happening, trying to figure out situations, trying to figure out people, don't know what to do with themselves. And so they're on the gotta go. That often happens as a day wears through. And so we see it most in people who are in the middle of the disease and what we call they're in an emerald state in that moment. They're not 100% oriented to where they are, who they are, what they should be doing, what their skill sets are. And so they make mistakes, but they can also get stuck in a loop. So they can be on the go or looping over and over again. So one of the things that we'll note in that is, okay, well, how can I help somebody who's in that state to be comfortable? And how can I get comfortable when that's what's going on? Particularly if I myself, my brain is not in its best condition. And so sometimes it's the balancing of those two abilities, my ability, the other person's ability. So Amanda's going to do it. But
so many of you who are in the world of dementia at all, or brain change, will know that this is a familiar place where you spend a lot of time.
I need to go.
Oh, you were wanting to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Teepa.
Yeah.
Let's get our shoes on.
Well, it looks warm out here.
It is warm.
Okay, so Amanda tried for a pause button. So what didn't Amanda do? And this is one of those important things, is my state right now is
No, that wasn't it. That wasn't the right one.
No, locking that door is not me watching or listening to her lock the door. You are not the boss. And now what she does is she's added emotion to a confused brain. And depending on who I am, I might go really angry or, why are you doing this to me? All I want to do is go home. Really sad. Or, you're not going to keep me here.
Oh, no.
Now, whoa, that.
Yep.
What just happened? I thought she was going to try to do something to me because she locked the door, and my brain went, she's going to hurt me. She's going to do something. So my brain said, you better hurry up and do something. And what she didn't realize is I had seen these things in here. And this is that moment where I would never do something like that. But in that moment, when she gave that little laugh business and she locked the door, she thinks I misunderstood it at a place where I became terrified. And a terrified animal is not a safe animal. And that emerald, whoa, that was no longer an emerald state. So what Amanda didn't do is a lot of the things that people might do, which is try, let's do this, let's make sure she can't get out the door. Bad idea, because this door for somebody in an emerald state represents, well, there's something out there. Because I said, I got to get home. And if I am home when I'm saying it, heads up, I don't recognize this as the place that I feel comfortable, safe.
Right.
And so when I open it, it may not look familiar, but it's someplace else. So I want to go check it out. Now, Amanda tried. Oh, hey, Teepa. Hey. Yeah, she got me to look down with visual cue. I don't have my shoes on. Mm-hmm. And I said, it looks warm out there.
It does look warm out there.
Sun shining. It could be 15 degrees out there. But my brain said what I saw, which is very consistent with an emerald state. I see what I say. No, I say what I see. So if I see something and it looks a certain way, I make assumptions about how it's going to feel. When will I discover that that's not accurate?
When you get out there.
When I get out there, it's colder than I thought. Or if it is warm out there, what I'm saying is it's warm. I'm not thinking, what's the texture of the concrete? Is it safe for me to be out there in bare feet? Because that requires reasoning, thinking. And that's
you're not necessarily even looking for a warmer place than what we have here. It's just, it looks different.
Well, if this isn't right, then maybe this takes me to a place that is right. So coming along with me is your best bet. So Amanda tried that. She said, ooh, and no. So at this point, recognizing this is something my brain sees as a way to get somewhere, because where I am isn't right.
So realistically, if we weren't on TikTok, we would go down the hallway in our bare feet. It's cement, so it's fairly safe. And we would then maybe find a reason to come back because we forgot something. I forgot the key. I forgot the thing.
Yeah.
Or maybe we brought the keys with us and we could go somewhere else.
And this is not really comfortable when you're tired. Right. This is not really comfortable when you have a kid who's sleeping, or when you have other responsibilities, or when there are other people in the building and you're the only person covering a lot of this stuff. So yeah, we get it. This isn't the answer in all cases, but I can tell you that trying to keep me in here is not the answer either.
No, but I could say, oh shoot.
What?
Before we go, oh gosh, it's 4:15.
Yeah?
Yeah. Oh, I hate to ask this of you.
Yeah?
We've got to prep for dinner. Dinner's in just an hour.
Well, I'm not hungry.
I know you're not. I got, the little ones.
Oh, you have kids?
I do. They're cute. They're sleeping.
Wow. Did you adopt them?
No.
Okay, now this
isn't that
interesting? Okay, now I'm her mom. She's my daughter. She has 2 children, 5 and 3. And in this moment, I mean, I know her sort of. I haven't said I think she's my daughter, but oh, you adopted children, because in that moment, Amanda, what did I just tell your brain?
You do not exactly know where we are in time and place, and you're
I'm
not
Emerald.
recognizing who I am.
I'm Emerald. This is an Emerald situation. So I don't know where your grandma is, but if you gave us some information, and we do half-hour free consults, if you gave us some more data, we would be able to help you figure out, where is your grandma spending a lot of time? And once we figure that out, I can tell you that she'll move around. It's not like she's going to stay solid in one space, but I can tell you what might trigger her moving one place or the other. And we talked some, it's emotions, it's time of day, it can be visual cues, that particularly in Emerald state, but for others, it's different kinds of things that cue people to be different. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So these are the kind of things that, it's not like I'm trying not to answer. I'd love to answer. My challenge is sometimes the questions you ask, I need more info to be able to do something with and to keep it tight and short. So Amanda right now is looking back. It's a family operation. So Dick's been running the camera while we've been doing this role-playing thing. But at the same time, trying to do multiple roles at once can make it a little tricky.
Okay, and we'll do... What happens if this happens constantly throughout the day? How do you set up the environment a little bit better for...
Yeah.
If you know this is going to happen, or they're entering someone else's room constantly,
repeatedly,
or whatever,
and we've got a pattern going. So what's really important for us to recognize is, oh, look, a set of synapses in the brain has established a familiar pathway. And it's comfortable with that pathway, and it keeps going that pathway. Even though ultimately it may not be getting it what it wants, it's getting it something. There's some reinforcer that is causing this pathway to be used, and it means, okay, what's missing? Because I got to figure out what's missing or what's triggering, because there'll be some kind of situation that's causing this. So if I don't have a lot to do and you're busy, that's a good one, because the busier you are and the less I know what to do, the more my brain says, well, this isn't where I should be. I got to get to my place because I got stuff to do. If you are tired of me and it's starting to show, well, then I don't want to be with you. I want to be with somebody who I like and likes me. I also would say this kind of thing, really close to an area where you're going to be working a whole lot, is going to trigger a whole lot of exit behaviors just because it's a door. And so one of the things we want to look at is where we place a lot of things that have value. So if you put something here, like a collage or something that's about this height, and gives me lots, maybe a bulletin board, maybe something with textures on it, maybe something with pictures or words or things that draw me, and it has to be based on me. It would give me a chance to pause and stop, maybe looking at whether this should stand out so starkly against the door is something else. But more importantly, what is it here that we could engage me with that has some value or some purpose for me? If most of this stuff is beyond where I should be, well, then you got to use what you got. So if I open this up, well, that's something. And I stand here. Yeah. And then I just look to my right a little bit. Well,
there it is again.
There it is again. And what I would say to you is, I look in here and my brain goes, I bet I should know what I'm supposed to do with all this, but I don't know quite what I should do. So this is a moment where Amanda could use what I was interested in, where I'm looking, and what I did to trigger some opportunity to do something.
Oh, hey, Teepa.
Yeah?
Could you get that green, the
This
green
thing?
one? Yeah, bring it on over there.
Oh. This one?
Yep.
Should I close it?
Yes. Yeah.
This?
Push it.
Oh, okay.
Set it right here.
Set what? Oh, the picture?
You got it.
Yeah.
See if you can find the green cups. Open that up.
Well, that's not green. Oh, open this? Okay. Those are
Not
cups.
green. Try this one.
What about it?
Pull it.
Pull it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
there's the green ones.
those?
Yep. Get 2. 1 for you, 1 for me.
Get one of these?
Yep.
Okay. It doesn't have a top.
Set it here.
Look at that.
Yeah. Try it over. Turn it over.
Try it over.
Turn it.
Turn it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Aha.
Oh, it was up.
There it is.
Up, down. Here's another one that's down.
Yeah, that one is.
Should I do them all?
Teepa, grab a green one.
I'm going to get these.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay, now, how many of you realize that moment where, Amanda, how much more work was this than you initially might have thought it was? And it would have been earlier in the day.
Earlier in the day, so somebody asked about sundowning.
Yeah.
Earlier in the day we did this. I asked you to get us 2
here's what it looked like. Here's how it looked earlier today.
Okay.
And multiple times by the, oh, wait, these are for later.
Okay, so before
okay.
2:30, we did lunch. And so I said, hey, Teepa.
Yeah.
Could you get the water pitcher?
Water pitcher?
Yeah.
In the refrigerator?
Yep.
Oh, okay. The water pitcher. Mm-hmm. Is it this one?
Yep, that's the one.
Okay. The green one?
Yeah.
Okay. So water pitcher?
Mm-hmm. The green cups are up there.
The green cups.
Get 2.
Okay.
One
the green
you.
ones?
Yep. 2 of them.
Okay. 2.
Thanks.
1. How many?
2.
Okay, I got it.
Thank you.
Do you want me to put it in there?
Yeah, fill it up.
Fill it up
with
this?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Fill it up. All the way?
Yeah, go ahead.
All the way up. Both of them?
Yep.
Now, you'll notice that I'm still wanting a lot of reinforcement that what I'm doing is right. I'm really uncomfortable with my own skill set. I have sort of an awareness that I make mistakes, so I'm double checking, and I'm saying it out loud. So as the day wears on,
we're both getting tired. And so sundowning is for both of us.
Yeah.
Because before I could actually get stuff done, now this takes my entire attention. And then you're going to do what with the wine glasses? And now what does that look like? And
so Amanda can't really, so she doesn't realize that she doesn't, this thing that she had me doing, she gets so rigid about that when I started doing, I figured out the turning over. Mm-hmm. I am in a pattern of repetition, and she missed it because I am right now repeat a single task. So I got the idea of turning things over. And what could she get done while I'm turning things over?
Whatever the thing was that I put aside while you asked.
But all she'll say is she gets everything out of the cabinet and it doesn't even make any sense. And it's because, as Amanda said, her brain is just as tired as mine is. But whereas I am moving more into an amber sensory repeat, Amanda is in a diamond to emerald. She can't let go of.
You were able to do this 20 minutes ago. Why can't you do this now? This is like.
And this becomes the task that I've got to do.
You always do for
versus,
us because. Right.
I can't do anything. But I just showed you I actually could, believe it or not, generalize this task of turning over. And if you look at it, man, this is going to take me a while.
Yeah.
And if you work this right, what you do is have them get all out, and then you could go, and then now they have to be put back away. Mm-hmm. And whether I turn them over or not, maybe they all go back like that. Maybe I don't complete the task, but you can get other stuff done.
Right.
But the problem is our brains get tired. And so.
Well, and somebody noticed, glass versus knives versus.
Well, yeah. I don't know whether or not I bet this group hasn't thought this through. I would, if it were at our house, we'd drop it just to see what happened, because this is where we really do need to think about things like safety measures. Because at this point, I may not be as skillful as I think I am, or I may get frustrated and throw something down. And when I throw something down, it's one thing if I throw something
that's loud, but plastic.
That's loud, but it's plastic. This?
No, don't do that. This is a hotel.
It's a condo. I'm pretty sure they won't be happy about it. So these might or might not be, but it's definitely time to look at things from a safety perspective as well as a function, but also a visual perspective. It should look okay.
Well, and it should be functional. Like, you don't want completely empty cabinets because then you'll find something else to do.
And the thing is, we've got to fill the day. You know, so
obviously suggesting that the wine glasses should go on the higher shelf. The plastic ones should be down.
That's a thought.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
So these are environmental modifications. But again, if you want me to work on strength, what you could do is put cans up here and have me take the cans and now put them down here, put them in a bag or get them out of a bag and put them up. And all of a sudden now I have something that is repetitious I can do. It's helpful, sort of, but it's also time occupying, which at times, sometimes that's what we need. She needs to be able to take her eyes and her mind off of me for a few minutes and feel that it's going to be okay. And we've got to start working on this, not only for me, but for her, because that level of stress and distress is not good for anybody, frankly.
Mm-hmm.
So I think.
So what other environmental pieces in the kitchen do you think people would be interested in? Yeah, well, we have a couple more minutes.
A couple more minutes. Let's talk about a couple of these things. Let's talk about stoves. And the problem with these kind of things, these are great in that they're easy to wipe off, it's nice and neat, but it's black on black. And when these are hot after they've been used, they don't glow or anything, but if I were to put my hand on it, early in dementia, I will pull back just like anybody will pull back. But later in dementia, it might actually take longer for the messages to come in through my fingertips to my brain, and my brain to be able to do the automatic reflex of pulling my hand away. And so by the time I recognize it, I now have third-degree burns all over my fingers. So this is the kind of situation where we may want to look carefully at what we do after we've used a stove. Even if I'm not the one cooking on it, if I'm in the kitchen, then maybe keeping pots or something on that burner afterward for a while so there's not an open space where I could put my hand. Take a pot, fill it with water after you've used it, set it back on there so that that surface is a safer surface. It's also sometimes important to look at knob controls and whether or not you want me to have free access to knob controls or whether you want to get those knob controls and control them in some fashion. There's a number of tools that are out there to do that. Probably at this point, looking at whether or not you want a block with a bunch of knives on it that I might choose to pick up, and then I might be really curious about and mess with. Now these, I'd have to do a fair amount of things, but at the same time, I might be trying to do something with this knife that isn't safe. Whether it's cutting something or trying to figure out how to get something apart or just make really bad, quote unquote, safety decisions. Not because I'm going to cause harm deliberately, but I can't figure out how to get the plug out. Mm-hmm. Okay, here, this will do it.
So Teepa has, a bunch of people are asking, okay, what are more activities, more ideas for stuff? And so there's a great DVD called Filling the Day with Meaning. There's also a ton of free resources on our site and on YouTube that talks about engagement and how do you engage with people for more than just activities. Because frankly, if you're at home, you need a lot more than just hourly activities going. You've got to have something that engages people throughout. So, look up some resources. And then somebody asked about how do you talk to little kids. So that may be something that we do in another session.
Yeah, and we don't have the kids down at the pool. Maybe we could have them up this way. We'll actually give you some examples of what to do and how to do it and what not to do, because we've really run across the gamut. And again, that 40 years of experience comes in handy because whereas a family may have been touched a few times, the advantage of doing this work professionally as well as for family members and friends is that I've had thousands of people in my world that live with dementia.
Filling the Day with Meaning.
So that's a particular DVD. We also have it live streamed. We also have some other resources, so please get up with us. And if there's some way we can help, we'll do our very best to do it. teepasnow.com. or you can put something into our TikTok channel, and we will get back to you there too.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, for today, thanks for joining us. I hope you had some fun on the live stream and that you got a chance to see some things, hear some things, try some things. Let us know how we can be helpful, and we'll be back again soon. Take care.
Hi, I'm Teepa Snow, and you just found our YouTube channel and watched one of our videos. I'm the owner and founder of Positive Approach to Care. Thanks for watching, and if you liked, if you have a comment about, or you would, please share it with people you know. Oh, and if you haven't yet done it, consider subscribing. We'll let you know when the next new video comes out. And you might want to visit our website, www.teepasnow.com, where you'll find other resources as well. See you there.